Now that we've loaded up Kodi, we're ready to start using it for all of our movies, TV shows, sports, and live TV content. So we're going to click on over to the video section. Once in the video section, we'll see we have 5 separate icons that we can use to do all of our activity. The first two, One Channel and Genesis, are what we're going to use for anything in the realm of movies and TV shows. If we move on to US TV Now, it'll be a quick resource for us to watch live TV content. If we move to Phoenix, it's a great place to watch fight replays, most specifically boxing and UFC, but on top of it, a lot of HD video content. And then finally, Sports Devil is where we are going to watch anything you can imagine in live sports. Doesn't matter if it's a pay-per-view event, a UFC event, NBA, NFL, what have you. It's all going to be there for you to watch as long as it's live. So we're going to start with One Channel. You'll see very straightforward. We can select movies, TV shows. Let's say we wanted to watch a movie. Once we click in, we'll see that there are several different ways they choose to categorize things. We could search out anything by name if we choose to. But most specifically, we'll go right down to the featured category to find all of our different movies that are in theaters. Now, once it loads up, you'll see that everything that's current will be up there. As we scroll down, if we were to click next page, it'll bring us up more of a list. But let's say we wanted to play anything. We'll click the movie we choose. And now what we see are all the different sources online that host this movie. Not every single one of them will work, but if we aim for the same ones every time, we tend to get the same results. Now, 2 favorites that we recommend aiming for every time would be streamin.to and realvid.net. They tend to be very reliable, so no need to search any further. And within seconds, our movie is booting up, and we begin watching. And it's as simple as that. Now to exit out, we'll hit the OK button, then click Stop, and it'll take us to where we just were. Let's click backwards a couple screens and now point out Genesis. Now, One Channel is a great reference for all of your different movies that are in theaters, but you'll probably find you use Genesis more than One Channel because there's a lot more HD content. So if we click on over to Genesis and boot it up, we'll see that we have a very all but identical program. Let's say we wanted to watch TV shows this time. Again, all the ways they choose to categorize things. We could search out anything by name if we wanted to, but we're going to go down to most popular, so it'll bring us up a list. Now from here, it doesn't matter which network it came from. It doesn't matter if it's from your favorite streaming service, a paid movie channel, or a major network channel. As long as it's been aired live, it's going to be there for you to watch within about an hour or two of airing without commercial at your leisure. As we scroll down, we'll see the list goes on and on and on. But if we were to select a show, you'll see we have all of the different seasons. Let's say we went to the most current season. You'll see all of the different episodes, and even on the right side, it'll tell you the date the episode aired so you know how current you are. If we wanted to click and watch any of them, it's going to be very similar to One Channel. We're waiting for just a second until all the different links pop up, but where we were saying that this program has a lot more HD content, these links are going to be categorized from best quality to worst quality from top to bottom. We'll see on the right side of each link, it'll tell us our quality level. If we want to aim right for the 1080p link, right at the top. If we move down and we take note, the next 3 links all say HD next to them. And then furthermore, the rest say HQ for just your higher quality standard definition stuff. But if we're a stickler, we can pull right for our 1080p file and be watching in great quality. Now there's one other perk to the Genesis program. If we were to click the menu button, which is the button on the top left of your controller, what it's going to do is it's going to bring up a dialog. From there, if we were to click autoplay, what it would do is it would sort through all of those links in the background, usually just find one that works and start playing it for you. Now, it's not perfect. Say it's maybe great 75% of the time. Ultimately, every once in a while, you may have to find your link yourself because it didn't bring up the best one. But from there, it's a nice step to bypass a step if you would like to do it. We also have one other perk. If we go down to Add to Favorites, what we can do is compile all of our favorite shows or movies in one category. So if we click back, and instead of clicking in our most popular category after favoriting something, we click into the favorites, all of our different shows that we put in here are constantly going to live in here until we remove them. And to remove them, it's the same way that we put them in. We'll hit the menu button and go down to remove from favorites, and it'll clear it. Now this is possible with your movies and TV shows. Now if we move on to US TV Now, this is a quick and easy way to find your major 8 live TV networks. Your NBCs, your CBS, your ABC, mainly for the purpose of watching the news. Now we have many more channels that we could be watching as well, but this one just becomes quick and easy. But if we were to click out of US TV Now and go down to the star in the bottom left corner of the screen, this is also a section for live television. Most specifically, we have the 2 categories at the top that are going to harbor a lot of our live TV channels. So let's click into one of them. You'll see as we go through the list gets much longer with much more of your major networks if you want to expand your viewing. Now if we go to Phoenix, Phoenix is going to be a great resource for your fight replays and most specifically your HD video content. There's a lot of different categories, but most specifically we'll go to the very first one, Phoenix TV. We'll click to sports, and we'll go to sports replays. You have the UFC, boxing, and things of the sort. And once you click in, you'll see you have replays of most all of your fights for you to choose at your leisure. The other things that we may look at for our HD video content are going to be these 2 categories, Rock Crusher and Stale. If we were to click into one of them, you'll see we have more categories ranging from HD movies to 1080p movies to 3D movies, and just more obscure things that don't live in some of the other programs. It's a nice place to look. Now finally, the Sports Devil icon is what we're going to use to watch all of our live sports, whether it be NFL, NBA, UFC, or what have you. We'll click down to the live sports section. We'll see we have all of the different sites online that host sporting events. It's a matter of preference which one you click. Personally, we recommend the first one and the third one just because of how they organize their content. As we click through, it's as simple as selecting your sport and choosing what you want to watch. And as the list goes on, you'll see the list of sports gets very obscure. You can watch anything that your heart imagines as long as it's airing live. Let's say we clicked into the baseball section. Here are all the different games that are airing today that you could be watching. All for free, all as long as they're airing live. You click, you play, and you're watching start to finish. Now, we've been going through the 5 icons and the star in the bottom left corner. But there's one other thing to point out. If we click right above where it says add-ons, you'll see that there are several other programs on here that you could be playing around with. You may find you like, you may find you have no use for. But things as obscure as podcasts or adult content or as mainstream as outlets for the news, they all exist in here. Now, if you never knew that these programs existed, most specifically, when we exit out of this category, these 5 icons are really what you're going to use for most everything. And I do find that most specifically we'll probably be using Genesis and Sports Devil more than anything else to satisfy most of what it is that you like to watch.
Well, that concludes our tutorial of how to use your box to watch your movies, TV shows, sports, and everything else. Only thing left to do is enjoy.